So I want to continue in our session tonight, in our third session tonight, on the subject of problem solving. But what we're going to do during this session is we're actually going to look at problem solving from an attribute standard, something that must be there in a good problem solver. One of the things that we must know, that if we're going to be a good problem solver, we must be attentive. So we need to understand that attentiveness is the key to problem solving. In session 7, I want to talk with you about the subject of attentiveness. The word attentiveness, or the word attentive, is a tireless choice to concentrate. To be attentive, you must hear and understand exactly what the other person says. In order to be attentive, you must not only hear, but understand what someone else says. To be an effective problem solver, you must demonstrate attentiveness. You must demonstrate it to those that are around you, especially those that you are assigned to serve. If you are going to be attentive, you need to understand how that you need to do this. How can I be attentive? Since it's a focus, since it's someone that not only hears what you say, but a person who understands what you say, what does it really mean for me to be attentive, and how can I do it? So here are 3 principles or rules to remember when attending to the instructions of authority. Now, why do I use the term authority? Because in our world today, the word authority seems like a word that's very taboo, when it's really not. Authority is just a person who has the possibility of being able to write you a bigger check. So authority is not a bad word, authority is a good word. Because authority at any place in life that you understand it has the ability to be able to do something for you that the others do not. One of the biggest things about problem solving is that you learn how to only take an instruction from someone that is able to give you a promotion. Never take an instruction from someone that can't promote you. Never take an instruction from the receptionist. There are times when I've had to say to people that work with me and work for me, I've had to say, now, that is a really great idea that you want to do that, but I think it might be better if you asked me what I thought was right first. Not afterwards. Not after you've done what you wanted to do. If you're going to solve problems, do you realize that you've just created one? So here are 3 rules that you need to understand if you're going to attend to the authority, the person that can write a bigger check for you. Number 1 is that when someone addresses you, never allow yourself to be preoccupied. Whenever you sit across the desk from someone, whenever you're listening to someone, make sure that they don't say to you, "What else are you doing?" Because I know that you're hearing what I say, but you're not listening to what I say. And there's a difference in between hearing and listening. And so you need to make sure that you don't allow yourself to be preoccupied. When I listen to those who are authorities or the people that write checks in my life, I make sure that I grandly understand what they're saying. I'm not there just kind of hearing what they say. I'm understanding what they're saying to me so that I can give them what they want, not give them what I want. So the first rule is that when someone addresses you, make certain that you're not preoccupied. Put everything down that you're working on, set yourself aside, and begin to focus on that individual. Make the person that you're talking to feel, just for that moment, as if they were the most important person in the entire world. But you've got to get that feeling across to them, not just kind of think that you've done it on your own. Don't ever think that you've done something on your own. Only know that it's finished and completed when they recognize what you've done. And so point number 1 is that when someone addresses you, never allow yourself to be preoccupied. Number 2 is that listen to another person's challenge, then help to solve their problem. Listen to it. Just don't hear it. Listen to another person's challenge. It's like somebody who says, like a boss will say to you, you know, I really like orange juice. And someone who's working with them says, I do too. I really like orange juice too. And they said, you know, if we had some, I'd get some for both of us. But I remember being in another state with an individual who had with them a person that had a child there. And when that person who had the child, when the child found out that what they were wanting was not available at this particular restaurant, the child began to cry. It began to be very difficult. And the person that I was there to see was beginning to make appeasements toward the child. Begin to say, oh, come on, honey, it's okay. You're going to be okay. If you don't get this right now, this is going to be just fine. Just don't, you're going to be just fine. Don't make any kind of situation about this. Don't do this. Everything's going to be okay, baby. Don't do that. Just you're going to be all right. And while they're doing all of that, what I did was I got up. I got in my car. I went and got what that person wanted and brought it back, and the child quit crying. Because I listened to another person's challenge, and then I solved the problem. Listen, just solve a problem. Don't talk about it. Boy, I sure would like some orange juice. Man, I would like some too. Well, no, don't talk about wanting the orange juice. Get the orange juice. Go and do what you need to do. People will remember you for stopping what they considered or what you considered to be important to you and what they considered to be important to you so that you could really do something for them. I mean, it's rare. Believe me when I tell you this. It is rare when someone actually stops their entire life and does something for you. They do it for you. Most often when people do something, they do it for themselves, and even if you're the benefactor, they're really doing it for themselves. But when someone will stop their life and do it for you, that person has just now caught your attention. I remember that I was having a very difficult time. It was a very difficult thing for me in an area of my life, and no one understood this area that I was having a challenge with. No one understood it. People would tell me, why don't you just kind of straighten up the way you feel about that? They just said, well, you need to be bigger than all of this. You just need to change the way that you're thinking about all that. You need to fix it. And this girl was cutting my hair. And as this girl was cutting my hair, this girl knew exactly how I felt. She knew exactly what I meant. She responded exactly the same. She listened to the problem. She sensed what it was and said, I understand completely. And I told her, I said, I need to go. Because when no one else would understand or could understand what was going on, this person understood. And remember this, if you're going to solve problems for people, you need to really understand, hear them out, solve the problem. Don't just say, gosh, that's too bad. But solve it. Number 3 is that never trivialize instructions given by proper authorities. Once again, never take an instruction from someone that's unable to give you a promotion. Never take an instruction from someone that's unable to promote you. You see, attentiveness is a habit which causes focus. It causes focus on that which truly matters. You see, attentiveness causes a person to focus on what's important. When a person's attentive, they focus on what is